From Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee, we're in Central Florida. Major Arena Soccer League action 2018-2019, where tonight the Orlando SeaWolves at 0-2 getting set to take on the Mississauga MetroStars. Good evening and welcome to Kissimmee, everybody. My name is Jeff Radcliffe. Thanks for joining us for SeaWolves Soccer here on MASL TV. In this matchup of two newcomers to this league. And the SeaWolves at 0-2 looking to ride Luke Bowden, a native of Sheffield, England, by way of Orlando City, and had his first goal a couple of weeks ago in the opener against St. Louis. So a goal and 2 assists so far this season. And his counterpart will be another player with some MLS experience, Mo Babuli, with 5 goals, 2 assists through 3 games. Former TFC standout there in the midfield, playing forward as well for the Mississauga MetroStars. So a lot of MLS flair on each of these sides. Of course, Mississauga, a brand new team to MASL in 2018-2019, as well with the Orlando SeaWolves. Kickoff is coming your way next on MASL TV. Back at Silver Spurs Arena as Dwayne De Rosario will kick things off. The former Major League Soccer MVP in his first season of indoor action will be gaining a lot of attention from the blue-clad SeaWolves, who will be tacking left to right here in this first quarter. First ever meeting between these two. Mississauga coming in 1-2. Defeat of another Florida team. They beat the Tropics on the 8th. And that was sandwiched in between losses to Baltimore and Kansas City, the latter at home last week. Orlando losers to Baltimore a week ago, 4-1, and lost their opener in a shootout in the most heartbreaking fashion, looking to get things right tonight in game number 3. De Rosario, Babuli, Adrian Can, all former Toronto FC standouts. And that attack, send it down the line, and will be cleared. Babuli, De Rosario, and Orlando will try to get out of there with Edwin Rojas. And his brother Osvaldo on the ball, passing the yellow line, as the SeaWolves look to get set up in the attack. Rojas at the line, sends it back. Alvarez off the wall, Osvaldo Rojas. And Yoshi Sandoval will take the pass. Just underway in the first quarter, no score. MetroStars in white here on the road. Gerson will put it in. Rojas. Gerson will run on, and the goalkeeper Spiros Sterigiotis is the starting keeper tonight, not Adrian Becic. It started the last match for Mississauga. Bully on the ball, racing to the outside, former striker for TFC. This Mississauga team really loaded with some talented players in the outdoor game, but still trying to learn their way inside the arena, where Orlando has a bit of an advantage. Many of these players played for Cedar Rapids last year before they moved the franchise. Phil Ionati in his first season as the head coach. About 2 minutes gone. Hold up on Paredes. cycle things around. Adrian Can from Thornhill, Ontario. Very local roster. Stergiotis. Now Can. Orlando, in its first 2 games, one of the best defensive teams in the league, holding mighty Baltimore to just 4 goals. Same Baltimore team that scored 11 against Mississauga. Heiner House, keeper, again tonight for Orlando. Tyler Turner couldn't get on the other end of it. So either team not really connecting a lot through the midfield. Hundelt will call for it. The yellow line near side. Up to Luke Bowden, who we talked about in the open. Bonds lays it back. Bowden has a goal in his MLS career against Toronto FC, by the way. If that fortune is good for him tonight. Can. And now turned over. Bonds has it. Bowden looking for a little assistance. Gets it away. Turner. Now Mendoza! Goal for Orlando. The SeaWolves take the lead 1-0. Another former Orlando City Lion gets them on the board 1-0. Bowden just waited for his former teammate to open up. And the assist will go to Tyler Turner. So 3 players very familiar to the folks here in the Orlando area. Just trickled it past the keeper, Stergiotis. And Orlando have the lead. Turner, the helper. So at 11:46. SeaWolves in front. They were in front last week against Baltimore as well, then conceded 4 straight to lose 4-1. What a good start. Here's De Rosario, will stay high most of the night. Neal. A purpose being shown by the MetroStars here, down a goal. From distance over everybody. Not going to trouble Heiner House. Did it take a deflection on the way out? Apparently did. So things will stay with Mississauga. And talking with Tom Traxel this week, he said, we always have to be aware of number 14, Scarborough, Ontario native, 4-time Canadian Player of the Year. 22 goals and 81 caps with the Canadian national team. He's on the ball now. But he said he tends to stay high. He doesn't come back. Leave it back. Babuli will let it fly. And just missed the target wide right. He'll come back to collect. Stergiotis broken up enough by Graham. And he'll be out of play. And Mississauga ball. Almost 3 minutes down. 1-0 to the good for the SeaWolves. Babuli will play it back to Marco Rodriguez, another native of Toronto. Drag it back. Graham. One takes a wicked hop off the glass, trying to settle and heading it forward. For the SeaWolves is Cruz. Eduardo will settle. And the SeaWolves will get a change. Coming on Tyler Turner. And House hit a house that time. Trying to get it out of trouble. No harm, no foul as Lewis Neal play it right up the boards. Held there. Now back out. Neal to Rojas. Will come all the way past the yellow. He'll let it fly. Misses the target left, and now Mississauga off and running. Held up by Dero. And Rosario looking for some assistance. Will pull it back, and numbers will come in support. 2:10 to go here, first quarter. As fans continue to file in here at Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee. We're about 45 to 50 minutes away from downtown Orlando to the south. A little step over move from Velestigi. Now into the game, back on the ball. Neal gets into him and commits the foul. Velestigi, a native of Mississauga. Many players that are a product of that Sigma FC academy that produced Kyle Larin, former Orlando City player and Canadian international. And that one will be out of play. So glad to have you along here on MASL TV, wherever you happen to be around North America, or in Central Florida, or beyond, from the Toronto area. Glad to have you. Your team down 1-0 at the moment. Coming up on 9 minutes to play here in this first quarter. There's House. Cycling around is Mario Alvarez. Rojas will hold it up. Laying it back, Alvarez. As Orlando gets into their set. Gerson knocked to the turf, no call. Our referee tonight is Lance Van Heitzma. Crew leader Ryan Sigic. As it's taken into the corner. Leaving it. Boy, big intervention made by Orlando there. Still not out of the woods. There's Yoshi Sandoval. Gerson keeps it alive. Here's Richard Schmerman. Part of this stout defense the SeaWolves have had the first couple of weeks. Bringing it off the wall, all the way around. Paw to it from Stergiotis. And along the boards and out of play. It'll be Orlando ball. Turner back on. The goal scorer Mendoza now on the near side. Turner with some space to operate. Sends it to that corner. Sandoval shove. And the call will go against Mississauga. So a restart. Pretty dangerous area here. Let's see what Coach Traxler and Coach Sleva have up their sleeve. Laid back, big strike. Hundelt got all of that one and down inside the box for the MetroStars. There's Velestigi, who's shaking off the cobwebs. He's fine. Point blank shot. Well, that's one way to defend. Good to see he's up and walking. Not much reaction time in the indoor game at close range as Dwayne De Rosario looking to settle everybody down. We're take a quick timeout, and the remainder of this first quarter coming right after this. A look at the lead. So he has got him in front. Mendoza, it's 1-0. We'll be back. Ready for the restart here at Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee. SeaWolves up 1-0 on Mississauga. Still looking for their first win in franchise history that comes at least in the regular season. They did beat the Brazil mini national football team in a friendly back in November. That happened in overtime, but 0-2 on the season. It'll be played all the way back to Heiner House, Brazilian goalkeeper from Belo Horizonte, starting for the second straight match. Oh, Bowden getting physical, falls to Hundelt, now Turner. Bowden took one shot off the top of the crossbar. Turner, oh my. And eventually Stergiotis will fall on it, the goalkeeper. Great opportunity there for the SeaWolves, couldn't cash in. De Rosario. And we'll jump onto the loose ball. Off the wall it goes. Falls to Lewis Neal, going the other way. Bowden checks the surroundings. Immediately is confronted by Rodriguez. And they'll get a change. Smurman will send it long. Off the wall, Stergiotis looking to clean it up was Neal. Mississauga trying to get out of their own half. The ball not bouncing their way here in the early going. 6.5 to go, first quarter. Shift to the other side of the field. Winning the header is Schmerman. He and Gordy Gerson, the changed hairstyles this season, going all bleach blonde, even though we're about an hour from the beach. Babuli will settle now. Bowden on him. Back to Ken. Thornhill, Ontario. Back, not giving any ground, Lewis Neal. De Rosario will let it fly, and going off the target to the left. Look back at the flurry in front of goal for Orlando moments ago when Tyler Turner just nicked it off the crossbar and out. Coat of paint kept it from being 2-0. Oh, nice touch by Mota. Again, shot on the way from Mendoza, and it goes in off of Mota. Back-to-back goals in games for Mota. 2 goals and 2 for the Brazilian from Sao Paulo. And clean up on aisle 12. Sandoval was there to initially put the ball in. It was spilt, and then making no mistake with the outside foot, Luis Mota. Second goal in as many games. He played last year at Rio Grande Valley, former Syracuse man. Now with his second goal of the season, and it's 2-0 SeaWolves. So the goals from Mota moments ago, and then 11:46 in the first quarter. Mendoza, number 11, started it out for Orlando, and now Mississauga in danger here, running back. Here's Turner. No, getting back was Can that time, and now body's hitting the floor. You can follow along the live stats on MASLsoccer.com, by the way, as we look at this collision. Back to action. Beginning a big, busy weekend of MASL soccer here in Orlando. Games coming up tonight: Florida, Kansas City, Turlock, San Diego. Orlando, it's 2-0 SeaWolves. Biggest lead they've had all season. Rojas shaking off defenders. Well, 2-goal lead, they say, is never safe in the outdoor game, but indoor game, it's even worse. But how about a 3-goal lead? Sandoval opens his account. Make that Rojas. Look what I found, and Osvaldo Rojas. No problem. So Osvaldo Rojas, Mexican who played at Cedar Rapids last year, has his first goal, and more importantly, Orlando out in front 3-0. So one half of the dynamic duo, the Rojas brothers, he and Edwin. There's a 3-0 game here. 10:47 time of that goal. So about 45 seconds elapsed between that and the last goal. That was scored by Mota. All these goals even strength for the Orlando SeaWolves. They'll take a timeout with 4:14 to go. We still got another quarter of action, but coming up at the half, we'll have an interview with Tom Traxler and also the commissioner of the Major Arena Soccer League. So that will be at halftime. Joshua Schaub, a nice talk with him prior to the match. So he's in the house taking in this one. Now in his third season as the MASL commissioner. Spoke very highly of these two new teams, new in different ways. Mississauga brand new from scratch, and SeaWolves relocating from Cedar Rapids. I know there's some fans in Cedar Rapids that are attached to many of these players still and are tuning in, so we thank you for joining us here tonight, a couple of days before Christmas. So Mendoza, Mota, and Rojas. It's 3-0 here in the first quarter. MetroStars last week lost 12-6 on their home patch at the Paramount Fine Food Center. Miner House will smother and cover. Under 4 to go first quarter. Beat Florida 10-0 at home, and then started the season at Baltimore and took it on the chin 11-3. Three-time defending champs took out Orlando last week 4-1. Now some work to do here for Mississauga. I was saying before the goal, they say a 2-goal lead is always dangerous in the outdoor game. Even more so, you could say a 4 or 5 goal lead in the indoor game, never safe. You can score goals in bunches and in a hurry, as we've seen. 3.5 minutes to go. Gerson along the boards. In the open field, Gordy Gerson will take a shot, and it's 4-0. Gordy Gerson, his second goal of the season. It is all SeaWolves so far tonight. Unassisted. Gerson making no mistake, pouncing on the loose ball. 4 different scorers so far tonight, and we've still got 3 minutes and change in this first quarter. So a 4-goal first quarter here. There's Giotis, Babuli, and now another turnover. Here's Rojas. He will shoot. He will score. Oh my! Edwin Rojas joins his brother in the scorebook. It is 5-0. What has happened? And boom goes the dynamite. So Edwin's first goal of the season. Now in his third year in indoor. And running out of space on the scorecard at this point. 5-0, 3-0-3. The Wolves are off and howling tonight. 5-0. 3 goals in about 2 minutes. Yowza. And out of trouble. That one off the wall and in. There goes the shutout. Didn't think that was going to last long. And it's Damian Graham who sent it far post. And makes it 5-1. So 6 goals here in this first quarter. So that's Graham's first goal of the season. And just put it wide. Perfect. Well, I would say try to catch your breath, but so far impossible. 6 goals in this first half, the first quarter. So that an even strength goal. All these goals, even strength. I'm at 12-18, and it is 5-1. End-to-end, wide open action. I never thought a game could be stretched and indoor, but that has been the case. See if that goal wakes up the MetroStars. Back to House. Sandoval. Collected by Demevsky. Off the wall, paw to it there. And eventually collected by House, who got a hand to it. Knocked it to Gerson, and it came back to him. As Matt Rios was looking to be a bull in a china shop. Knee to the back. House out to Sandoval. Schmerman is going to be out of play. In your face action, of course. Gotta keep your head on a swivel in this league if you're along the boards. 5-1, coming up on 90 seconds to play first quarter. Good footwork shown by Stergiotis. Another attempt. Sebastian Zabalos, another goalkeeper. I believe he's the one in the game at the moment. So Sebastian Zabalos expelled Stergiotis. That one headed towards the goal. Under a minute to go. Babuli checked into the board. And played all the way back to the keeper, Zabalos. Bringing it up. Karen. On the line it goes. Sean Brown in the match. 1 second back to Zabalos. Ten seconds. Babuli shakes off the challenge. That one off the glass. Can keeps it alive. 2 seconds, 1. And that will do it for the first quarter. And it was a good one for the home team. Orlando SeaWolves getting goals from Mendoza, Mota, Rojas, Gerson, and the other Rojas. Mississauga getting one from Graham to spoil the shutout. 5-1 after one here in Orlando. We'll be right back. back in Kissimmee, early Christmas present for SeaWolves fans, at least in one quarter. 5-1 as we start the second. To put it into perspective, well, then his last game was a 4-1 defeat. 5 goals scored in that game. They've already eclipsed the amount of goals scored in one quarter tonight with 6 total. So making up for lost time. Here's Bowden holding it up. Yeah, 5 total goals. Good point. Our producer Tom Piero saying they've scored 5 goals all season. Just 1 last week and 4 in the opener. So they've tied that in one quarter tonight. Not sure what that says about Mississauga's defense. Well, time will tell. Gerson, old wily veteran, kid dynamite. It's Bowden. Undealt back to House. Mississauga in their games, their losses scored 3 and 6, and then 10 in their win against Florida. So they have the ability to make this a game again. You cannot fall asleep. Going to keep that cushion as now Zabalos was caught a bit and gets it away. Long ball is now Adrian Can more in the attack. Saw him play defense last week against Kansas City more often than not. Babuli along the boards, coming away with it with Sandoval. And Yoshi in a 2-versus-1 battle. Coming out to help is Bowden. And getting it down the line. Luke on the way. Luckily playing out of his box was Zabalos. Big man was moving. Rodriguez. Sit all the way across off the wall. From distance, shot flies in. Bazinga. And it is 5-2. Took a rip as we take another look. And Can. Yes, he can. So 5-2. This game has a lot of goals in it, I would say. It was Karen getting credit for that goal. He's the one that let it fly. Josip Karen, the Croatian. Couldn't quite get the number. And that gives him a bit of a skip. That's back-to-back goals for Mississauga. 5-2 game. Mota leaving it back. Hundelt trying to regain control of the proceedings. Hundelt worked back. Alvarez. The line comes higher. Gerson will collect. Playing a bit of ping pong. Rios saying, get it out of here. Ooh. Hundelt will commit the foul. Looking for a quick restart. So 5-2, 7 even strength goals. The last 2 have been scored by Mississauga. House, long release. Touch for Mota. Turns it around, collects. Back to Schmermans. SeaWolves get a change. Sandoval comes on. Schmermans, full head of steam. Took a wicked deflection back to Zabalos, who steadied things here for Mississauga since he's come on. Half bicycle clearance. Next time, let's see if he tries the Rene Higuita scorpion kick. Lewis Neal will trot on over the wall. We'll give the free kick here at the top of the D from Sandoval. See what's been working on in the training pitch. Schmerman with a big swing. Back in, takes a deflection, comes out, and it will stay with Orlando. Working it around the perimeter. So take two, Sandoval, top of the arc. This time, Gerson got a big swing. Will come all the way back out to House, past that yellow line. And Heiner will settle it. Just dump it into the corner. Dump and chase for you hockey fans. Similar tactic. Sandoval, House been playing as a defender at the moment. All the way down. Rojas only has one goal. Oh, Schmerman had a good look and just put it over the top of the bar. Wants to have that one back. Opened up the foot a bit. Got it teed up. Oh, Lewis Neal forcing a turnover. Will come back on the ball. Sending it across. Bowden. House will off for the long ball. Bowden chases it into the corner. Malos cleared to the side. Graham. Pressure coming. Zabalos will watch Orlando back off a bit. Turner. Can. Sliding save there. Turner was coming hard. De Rosario. Gets a turn. Hundelt read it. Put it back the other end. Rodriguez down the line. Dero will collect. Neal on him. Able to get it away. A little shove. And turning. Off. Boy, off the board. And again, it's going to be Graham who had the rebound fall right to him. It's 3 straight goals here for Mississauga. Graham's second. So 2 goals here in the second quarter. Mississauga's made this more of an even game, at least 2 goals closer. So far, of all the teams that have played Orlando, they've had the easiest time scoring. Nobody has scored this many goals this quickly against Orlando. Mendoza putting it into the mixer. Hands to the face, brings it back. And Johnny, my bad. Checking the chicklets was Martino Dumevski. He was playing the Serbian First Division this time last year. So 3 unanswered by Mississauga. A game of runs. 8:50 to go here in the half. A free kick from the yellow. Sandoval. It's it back from Turner. Put into the box and out. And now will be free kick at the top of the arc. Yoshi in play. Schmerman got a hand to it. It went out. We'll do it again. Ruling is stay with Orlando. Keeping Mississauga with that personnel out there. Gerson, a bit of a touch. Demevsky get out of dodge. Zabalos launches it, kept in, falls to Demevsky. Full head of steam. Paredes back to House. Going to settle things down just a bit in the second quarter. 3 goals scored by Mississauga. Neal. Pressure being shown. Sandoval the line. Mota gets a touch to it. Some tugging and pulling going on the jerseys. Oh, and Gerson gave it a go. Mota, second crack at it. Boy, it would have been spectacular if that went in on a half volley. Gerson has a flair for the dramatic at times if you go back and watch him in Cedar Rapids. .7:30 to go. Rios. Rodriguez. For the Argentine national futsal team, Rodriguez. Knows about the small-sided affairs. And Gerson being a nuisance and a pest. Fortunately, came off of him and poor angle, couldn't find the net with it. Neal being difficult, not letting him getting into the front. Comes all the way back. Work done. Lopez will get the restart. 6:25. It's been a good second quarter here for the visitors. 3 unanswered goals. Good hold up coming back to Sebastian Lopez. Here's Can. Works it around the boards. Not much Lerone Young could do with it. Here comes some pressure. And it was productive. Young forcing the turnover. Chasing it into the corner, and I'm talking about a major league collision between Brown and House. And House paying the price, and then a blue card for Young for excessive force. He got that knee up, it appeared. Luckily, the referee got out of the way. So first penalty coming up as Orlando more concerned about their keeper, Minor House, who is their second keeper. As Peter Sliva, the normal starter, got hurt in the first game. So to put a field player in there should House not be able to continue. They will have the power play when they resume. So this is of concern to Tom Traxler and his Wolf pack. Take a quick timeout. You're watching SeaWolves Soccer on MASL TV. Reiner House, no worse for wear, back up, so he will continue. Good news for Orlando SeaWolves fans. Even better on the power play following the charging penalty against Sean Brown. Orlando 75% this season on the man advantage. Mississauga has yet to stop it. They're 0% on their penalty kill. So this should be strength versus weakness. Neal will send it across on the 5-on-4. Bowden. Sandoval, Neal. Bounced off of the keeper, Zeballos. About 1.5 minutes remaining on the penalty, and that will help out Mississauga. It's lifted out of play. So it was 5-1 after one. 2 goals scored by Mississauga. Graham has a brace. So it's been 3 unanswered. Trying to break that spell here on the power play, Orlando. Sandoval will force them back into their defensive posture. Yoshi on the move. As Turner to his right. As Neal as well. So then we'll play it left to Luke Bowden with the left foot. Couldn't get it through. He is moving the ball side to side, waiting for the opening. Into Turner. That one coming through. Kick save made by Zeballos. And there's 55 seconds left in the penalty, and now put into the board, and it will be MetroStars ball. Turner and Graham getting physical. Play resumes. Crossing halfway is Bowden. Gerson collect things. Neal. 36 seconds left in the man advantage. Sandoval back to Lewis Neal. Bowden. These 2 good buddies from their days in Orlando. It skirts through. Luke Bowden. A laugher of a goal. Not one for the highlight reel, but it trickled in and it counts just the same. His 2nd goal of the season. And it gives the SeaWolves a 6-3 advantage. Not how you draw it up, but you put enough on it. And got it by. Sabat has his 2nd goal of the year. And the power play dominance of the SeaWolves continues. That 75% will move up now. That releases the penalty. Sean Brown released. Then we're back at even strength after the goal. 6-3. Seawolves led by as many as 5 in that first quarter. Full head of steam. Cruz. Hundelt there with De Rosario. Not the best of them that time. And a foul. Dero draws it. De Rosario, 4 goals, 3 assists though so far this season, with all the attention being paid to him. Rightfully. We'll bend that in. House has trouble with it a bit. And eventually will release it long. Gerson touches it to Rojas. Back to Gerson! And a big kick save made by Zeballos. He's not out of the woods yet. And laid it back to Demevsky, unfortunately for Orlando. Now it's a 2-on-1 the other way. Just getting in the way. House comes out to clear it out. And giving his time for his defense to get back. Stepping to it, Demevsky. Just missed. That one on the deflection. Trying to get it cleared. It's in, and it's good. Kept giving him cracks at it, and Mississauga cuts it back to 2 once more. Paredes will get the credit. Just was nice and patient one, it was helter-skelter. So Joshua Paredes, his first goal of the year, makes it 6-4. And a little less than a half, Mississauga has equaled the champs Baltimore. Comes to scoring output against Orlando. Orlando out shooting them by just one, 14-13. Maybe they'll change that here. Mota off the wall. Couldn't quite sit for Tyler Turner. Mendoza settle things down. Captain Yoshi Sandoval getting everybody in place. Bowden will hold it up. Ellis will hold it. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the half. Off the wall. Mississauga has been really good on the other end, getting those balls off the woodwork. Gerson, difficult. Coming away with it, Velistigi. Zabalos, and now turned over. Given away, Gerson will set up. Back to Sandoval, save once and twice by Zabalos. How about 3 times? Boy, pick up Sebastian Zabalos at point-blank range, denying Yoshi Sandoval, not once, not twice, but 3 times in the end. Does put it out, and it will be a free kick. So 3 saves in a matter of 10 seconds. House, goodness gracious, in the line of fire once more. That went up to the scoreboard. Full head of steam. Ron Young. And another ball just falling into the area, bouncing, begging to be pounced on. SeaWolves need to do a better job at cleaning things up down there. Back to House. Boley giving chase. Sandoval, the indoor veteran, knocked out of play. And De Rosario will argue that was off of Orlando, but not the case, according to the officials. 33 seconds left in the half. A reminder, we'll have interviews with Tom Traxler, the head coach, and Josh Schaub, the commissioner of the MASL. That will come first up after the break. 25 ticks left, 6-4 the score. These teams nick another before halftime. Intercepted by Neal. 12 seconds to go. Gerson does not fall the way Rojas had hoped. Here's Babuli with a full head of steam, crossing halfway. 2 seconds, 1. We'll let it fly, and that'll be after the buzzer. So at the half, it is Orlando 6, Mississauga 4. So the SeaWolves and the MetroStars in a battle here in Orlando. We'll be back right this. Bowden, the 6th goal for the SeaWolves. We'll be back. Back at Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee. My pleasure to bring in Joshua Shaw, the commissioner of the MESL, MESL2. Welcome to Orlando. First time, I'm sure?
It is. First time. Love it so far. Great arena. Exciting environment. Look forward to a great game.
And 2 brand new teams in Mississauga and Orlando today.
It is. 2 expansion teams we brought in. Obviously, SeaWolves coming down from Cedar Rapids as well, and our first team in Canada. So we're excited about Mississauga.
Where is the league right now as far as number of teams? What, there's 32 MASL, MASL2, but looking for the future, maybe expansion, where is this league going?
Correct. Under our umbrella, we have 32 teams, 15 at MASL and 17 at MASL2. Going forward, as I've explained previously to our fans, expansion is kind of going to slow down. We improved and increased our minimum standards for joining the league from a financial basis for our ownership groups and really our arenas. So our minimum standards have been risen. We're trying to grow in Canada and Mexico, and we've hired Rogelio Cota as our Deputy Commissioner of Mexico to make that happen.
Going forward now, you've got the possibilities of expanding it at the right time when you need to. What are some of the initiatives that the league is looking at this year under your watch?
So media is a huge thing for us coming into this year. First year we had governance. Second year we started to create the pyramid of arena soccer. This year is media. Here's a great example of really an improvement and step up of our media capabilities and production of games. We recently just signed a national TV deal with 11 Sports. That starting in February will broadcast a game of the week. It'll bounce around from some of our locations throughout the country, East Coast to West Coast, so very much looking forward to that.
Talk about the competitive balance right now in the league. You've got those heritage teams like Baltimore and San Diego, these teams that have been in the arena, soccer arena for decades now, and then bringing the new teams and having them mix. Just talk a little bit about that aspect of this league.
Sure. Parity gives any league value, right? There's 3 things that give leagues value. It's the shield, parity, and our outcome the games are in doubt. In this league, we value that as well. I think the East is going to be really competitive. I think the Central is going to be really interesting. Milwaukee's always been the big dog in that division, but these upstart teams here are really big into that, including the SeaWolves, West Coast as well.
Talk about the market here, Orlando area, Kissimmee. This is a very good soccer area. There's already a very successful MLS franchise here. Is that one of the reasons to bring Orlando in? And what can you say to those that still have to learn about the indoor game, and what can get them out here that may be different that they see in the spring and summer?
You know, clearly when we look at expansion, we look at the demographics, and the Orlando, Kissimmee area has great demographics for us. Some of the concerns may have been there's so much going on. How do you break into this market? The Las Vegas Golden Knights, they've done, sent a shockwave really through professional sport that you can break into markets like this. So we like the future in Orlando. We like what's being done here. Obviously, we have some runway to get it going, but we're excited.
Josh Mashab, third-year commissioner of the MASL. We'll be right back right after this on MASL TV. We're back in Kissimmee at the half, Mississauga and the Orlando SeaWolves, and my pleasure to be joined by a good friend and head coach, Tom Traxel. This is a full disclosure, there's a prior relationship here, so this should be a pretty easy interview. Let's just talk about this. You've got almost a 3-decade amount of experience in the game of soccer. All of that has been outdoor. Talk about your adjustment to this indoor game and how it's been for you, Tom.
So I've a 3-decade experience outdoor and about a 3-minute experience indoor. It's been different. It is a different game altogether, Jeff. You take what you know about the outdoor game and just throw it away.
Yeah.
The tactics, the boards change everything. The way the goalkeepers operate, how important they are to a team. It's been a massive learning curve and something I have enjoyed greatly getting to do over the past month and a half that I've been really working on.
Is the transition made easier? You have 4 former Orlando City players that you've worked with that are some of which have close friends. Does that help that transition? And how have they adjusted to the indoor game?
Well, I think we're all on the same page. We're all of us are learning this new indoor game, which is I got to tell you, it's fun and it's really exciting. I think it's been great to have them along on the journey with me.
Yeah.
I know them, I've known them for a long time, so it's a lot of fun to have them here and to have them interacting with the other great group of guys that we have is been phenomenal.
Look, I know you don't like being 0-2 as a head coach, but if you look at the circumstances, you play your first ever game, it goes into a shootout. The second game, you're going up against the 3-time defending champs in Baltimore and Mississauga tonight. Look, it wasn't going to be easy at the outset, but just talk about those first 2 games, what you have learned, and what this team is possibly going to be very, very good at, most likely defensively.
Yeah, I think what we've learned is that really, honestly, in a form perspective, we're probably still in a bit of preseason form. We had one preseason match against Brazil, who really isn't a team, and we won that one. So that was a good thing, and we'd only won that after a week of work. So to say we had worked a week and gotten something positive at the end of it was a good thing. Then we come into our first game against St. Louis, a team that's vastly improved, and we go all the way to a shootout. We lose in the shootout there, and then Baltimore comes in. Baltimore, again, Major League Soccer champions 3 times running now. They've won the league 10 times. That was always going to be a tough ask. So I still feel we're in a bit of preseason form because of our lack of games in preseason, our lack of games together. Coming in tonight against another brand new franchise, Mississauga MetroStars, it's a massive game. It's a massive game for both teams, really. We've both gotten off to rough and rocky starts, and both looking to turn the corner and make it right.
Hey, everybody knows Lewis, Bods, Tyler, Johnny. Talk about some of these guys that have been mainstays in this league, like a Gordy Gerson, a lot of these players that came over from Cedar Rapids, how they helped your transition, and really for the entire team.
Players like Joshua Sandoval, Gordy Gerson, Luis Mota, Heiner House, Peter Sliwa, my assistant coach has been he's been immense for me, all of them. We sit down constantly and we're talking strategy, we're talking different formations, we're talking how to clear out lines, how to clear lanes, how to get the ball forward. So they've all been generous with their time. They all want to be successful. They want to help everybody have a shorter learning curve, because they know that the shorter that curve is, the better it is for them too. It's better for the team. So they've been great as far as that goes.
The challenge is also get more and more people in the stands here. The people that haven't been out, that may be watching this on MASL TV for the first time. You've got a supporter group here. That culture is already being built. How important is that in the indoor game?
The Wolfpack's been incredible. Love the Wolfpack. Here every game with their smoke and their drumming and their cheering. They've been great, and I would encourage people to come out and join the Wolfpack. That's really where you want to sit. It's the most fun. I know if I wasn't on the bench and I was just coming to watch, that's the group of people I would want to sit with. But I've known indoor soccer from a very young age in this country. And someone who you'd remember, JP Della Camera. That's where he kind of got his start in the indoor game, calling indoor soccer, the Major Indoor Soccer League, which is now Major Arena Soccer League.
I have the trading cards, the MISL trading
exactly.
cards.
And it's fun, it's fast, it's exciting. Players are off and on very, very quickly. There's lots of goals, 15-minute quarters, 15-minute quarters. So you can get in, get your entertainment, you're getting back home. I could go on and say a lot of great things about the indoor game, but the big thing is you have to get here and see how fast and how powerful and how good these players are and how exciting this league is in person.
I want to ask you, lastly, just about the schedule coming up. This is a 3-game homestand you're finishing up. Now you go against the rivals at Florida, and then you're on the road, what seems like a month and a half. That's the schedule, that's how it works, but what do you have ahead?
Well, obviously tonight the focus is all Mississauga. That's the big focus. After that, it's going to turn to the Florida Tropics. And again, you mentioned that could be a rival. They're just down the street from us. So, and they're a very good team. They've gotten off to a good start. Freddie Mugin and company, they'll be a handful. So I don't think we'll look too much further past the games with Florida. I know that's cliche. I hate to be cliche. I've been in your position asking coaches and heard all the cliche answers, but the truth of the matter is it's hard for us to look ahead in that road trip. We know it'll be tough, and we know we're going to have to be ready to go, but getting a win tonight and then working hard to get a win in our next game against Lakeland on the road, which is going to be a tough place to go against a very good team. That really is our focus.
Well, you got to finish off Mississauga first, buddy. Congratulations on making this transition, Tom. We'll see you down the line. We'll be right back. It's the Mississauga MetroStars and the SeaWolves second half right after this on MASL TV. We're back in Kissimmee, Silver Spurs Arena, getting set for second half action between the Mississauga MetroStars and the Orlando SeaWolves. 10 goals in that first half, 6 for Orlando. It started with this one, Johnny Mendoza from Tyler Turner. His first indoor goal of his career made it 1-0. That was at the 3:14 mark of the first half. 6 minutes later, Luis Mota, the cleanup on aisle 12, made it 2-0. Then a minute after that, Osvaldo Rojas, look what I found, knocked his first goal of the season, the Mexican. And Gordy Gerson breaking free at the 11:40 mark. And it seemed like the route was on. Edwin Rojas Thank you very much from Tyler Turner, his second assist. But then Mississauga had it figured out. They used Damian Graham, the first of 2 goals there. That made it 5-1. Now in the second quarter, Joseph Curran, watch this shot from distance, from beyond the line, let it fly, and that young man made it 5-2. A few minutes later, Graham would notch his second on a feed from Marco Rodriguez. Rodriguez off the wall, and in it goes off of Graham. Then Orlando on the power play. Luke Bowden trickled it right on past the keeper, Zabalos. A bit of a laugher at that point, but Mississauga answered with Joshua Paredes, the defender. And it was like, again, look what I found. Bouncy, 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 fun, 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 fun. And that made it 6-4 as we went in to halftime. So each team has made its adjustments. Tom Traxler, who we heard from at halftime, giving his instructions. And on the other side, Phil Iannotti. He used to be a player for the old Toronto Lynx, Montreal Impact in the NASL, the old Toronto Thunderhawks, and the MPSL. Really making his name now as a coach. The Oakville Blue Devils in the CPSL won an amateur title there. And he's got Dwayne De Rosario at his disposal as we get set to start the third quarter. And they need a much better start than they had in the first quarter. And first quarter, when they conceded 5 straight goals. So let's see kind of energy comes out as we're underway here in Kissimmee. It'll be Mississauga attacking right to left, and they'll have a free kick. And just underway. De Rosario making his adjustments to this indoor game. And he wants to get his. Rojas and Gerson, a 2-man wall. Point, big swing by Babuli. It was met. Have to be tipped over just to be safe about it. Heiner House. And there'll be another set play here for Mississauga. MetroStars coming in 1-2, a win against Florida, sandwiched in between losses at Baltimore and versus Kansas City. Back to the point, Babuli this time lays it to the right side. And he's pushed out past the yellow line. 2 goals already for Graham, and that one will deflect its way out. And Mississauga will keep this defensive line for the SeaWolves out there. Restart. Babuli. Side of the arc. To meet him, Gerson sends that one out. Sure, one of the topics in that halftime locker room with the SeaWolves was about making them earn it. And way out of his line, and then Gerson would test it and put it over the goal. Not a bad idea, he just couldn't execute it in. Zabalos was caught out on the yellow line. So given chase. Schmerman just a piece of it at the head. Head forward, Schmerman again. Well, Bowden, some space as Gerson got knocked to the turf. Schmerman up. Gerson will come off. And that one's in for a goal! Mendoza has a brace. Who's Johnny, she said. And he's got Orlando up by 3. on the back stick, swing it home. (7-4) scoreline now. Mendoza started the game off with a goal, now starts off the second half doing the same thing. And increases the lead. Schmerman gets the assist on that one at the 1:13 mark. Just underway here in this third quarter. So another good start for the SeaWolves. Tyler Turner will chase it. Zabalos along the line. Hundelt kept alive by Turner. Mota, he'll let it fly off the wall. Luis, who had the only goal last week, has one tonight. Unable to keep it on that far side with Rios. And intercepted. Gerson back out there with Eduardo Cruz. Joined the team on a trout in the offseason. The Sao Paulo native has the ball again. Undealt shift is over. Neal to Sandoval. Yoshi. Space closes down. Gerson keeps it going. Yoshi on the move along that left channel to the far post. Rojas, a little one-time attempt by Yoshi. And eventually cleared by Dumevsky. Into the board he goes. Mississauga will have it with Josh Paredes. Gerson, just the Energizer Bunny, chasing everything down, making difficult life for Sebastian Zabalos, the keeper. Remember, it was Gergiotis who started this match in that spot, and they scored 5 on him that quickly, forcing the keeper change. Rojas doing his due diligence defensively, could have been committing the foul here with 11:59 to go in the third quarter. Can. Lofting that one in. A little flick header from Can, couldn't quite get on the other end of that one. Puts it out off of Orlando. Matt Rios. That one all the way across the face of goal. Comes back out to Can. And Lopez was caught out just a bit. Standing his ground, Luis Neal against Rodriguez. The entry ball was good. That one saved by House. Playing with it and paying the price that time. A mistake at the back leads to Rodriguez scoring his first goal of this match. And Rodriguez's third goal of the season, as Gerson tried to carry that out. It was turned over. As you watch right here, House had the initial save, tried to play it back in, had it taken away, and then the open goal. Rodriguez cuts it to 7-5. A 12-goal affair here in Kissimmee so far, with almost a full half yet to play. Score updates around the league. Milwaukee in this division taking on Florida tonight in Lakeland, and up 3-1 against the Tropics in the third period. Not nearly as many goals being scored there tonight. De Rosario off the chest, trying to settle, gets a shot away and nearly kills somebody in the Wolfpack. D-Row now 40 years old. Trying to extend that career, which has been could be described as tremendous. 2 MLS Cups with the Houston Dynamo, 3-time MLS All-Star, was an MVP in the league. And then the exploits with the Canadian national team. Here's Bowden. The expert holding up, and he commits the foul, and now De Rosario takes exception. Seemed like Mississauga was getting a little frustrated with the hold-up play of Luke Bowden. And he will go into the sin bin. So the first penalty on the night going against Orlando. Bowden checking for a replay. Like, what did I do? Definitely there was contact to the face. Not sure if it was intentional or not. Tough. There is no video assistant referee in this league to take another look. So it'll be the first power play of the night for Mississauga. They're 29% for the season on the power play. Orlando 83% on the penalty kill, which has to be tops in the league. De Rosario. 1 minute 20 seconds left on the penalty. 7-5 game. Bowden sitting in the penalty box for the first time this season. Babuli. Stopped by Schmerman. Babuli to that far point. Schmerman will just clear it. Hits the scoreboard. We'll come back to the line. .55 seconds remain on the power play. We'll restart from the yellow with Mohamed Babuli. It's to his right on Hundelt. Comes the through. Babuli will have to chase all the way back to the halfway. 42 seconds left on the penalty. Babuli to his left this time. Easy pickings for Sandoval, and now Mendoza goes down. Domevsky knocked him over, and that will change it the other way. So a penalty on Mississauga. Last man. So player for each in the box. So this will go from even strength to power play for about 30 seconds after the penalty. So it will be a whistle and a run up, trying to beat Zabalos one-on-one. He's got 4 seconds from the whistle. He shoots, he scores. A brace for Gordy Gerson, that one by penalty. And down a man, Orlando has struck. Now goes 8-5. Made no mistake. Hit it low right with pace. Gerson's first 2-goal game of the season. So he and Mendoza with 2 goals apiece. Fires up the home crowd. I've seen a lot of goals in this one, 13 so far. Then you still have got the two guys in the box. 20 seconds for Bowden to serve, a minute 46. Tripped up, Mendoza. Penalty about to expire for Orlando. They'll be on the power play for about a minute 25. Where they are at now. So they go from penalty kill to penalty scored. And now to the man up. They're 1 for 1 on the power play tonight. North of 80% conversion. Have another minute and 5 seconds or so to work with. Yoshi moves it left. Shot on the way and in! Goal! SeaWolves! Luke Bowden got his brace. And that one, not much of a laugher that time. He stung it. Much more of an appropriate finish for 14. That expires the penalty. Orlando 2 for 2 on the power play. And it is now 9-5. It's going to be a tough night for the stat man. That is for sure. 9-5, 14 goals scored, and we've still got about a quarter and a half to go. We'll take a quick timeout. Orlando by 4 goals, 9-5. Be right back the rest of the third quarter after this. Back in Central Florida, the SeaWolves of Orlando 9-5 leading on the Mississauga MetroStars after this Luke Bowden goal on the 5-on-4. So not a good run here in the last couple of minutes. Mississauga had the power play, then gave it up, and then gave up a goal on a penalty and on a power play. And still on the back foot a bit. 7.5 to play, that one out. We'll turn over and come back to Orlando. Folks watching this around the league, there are 2 high-power teams to contend with. I'm trying to slice it through. Alvarez couldn't quite get the angle on it to hit it upper 90. Nicely drawn up, though. So Luke Bowden, Gordy Gerson, and Jonathan Mendoza. 6 of the 9 goals tonight. Rojas, Mota, and Edwin Rojas. Osvaldo and Edwin each getting a goal tonight. There's still 22 minutes to play. House. Down by 4 goals. MetroStars. Bit of a sense of urgency here. Rodriguez has a goal here this half. Stepping to the right is Lopez. Shipping it left, Sean Brown. Couldn't keep it. Turned over, Osvaldo Rojas. Continuing to make the run. Gerson looking to clean up any mess that was there. Didn't quite get to him. And now Sandoval. Gerson. Oh, just waiting and begging. Was Cruz. Shift change for both. Can on. Bowden read that one. Continuing to joust and battle, comes away with it. Strong man from Sheffield. Leaves it back. Neal to House. Play it long to the target. Bowden will be forced to get a little push in. Nothing too dangerous in it. Bod's being told to cut it out, so getting handsy. 5.5 to go here, third quarter. Zabalos. Cruz to House. Off the window, De Rosario. Dero put some stank on it and put it out of play. So far being shut out in this one. And Babuli, the leading scorers on this team, have not made an impact as of yet. Still a long time to go. A bit of a turnover. That one going to be out in front, and a goal scored. It's a hat trick for Damian Graham, and the assist to De Rosario, making it 9-6 on the giveaway. Mendoza got sloppy with it and had it taken away. De Rosario, the easiest assist he'll ever have. So Damian Graham playing the part of hat trick Rick tonight. 5 minutes to go here in the third. Turner. Bit of a heavy touch, De Rosario. Rojas was wise to it. Mendoza will run on the loose ball. Can he atone it? He can! Mendoza has his hat trick, making up for the mistake at the back. And Johnny has number 3 tonight. It was a jailbreak, and the net held him back. It is 10-6. So what a night for number 11, former Stetson Hatter. Played with Orlando City at the USL level, won a championship with Rochester in the USL, and played for OCB. Still has some legs in the outdoor career as well, but good night for the local product out of Altamont Springs. Started Lyman High School locally before matriculating to Stetson. And a good lad, deserving of this tonight. 10-6. Can head down, launches it to the target. Hundelt made the intervention. Alvarez sees it go out. Paredes. 3:46 on a turning clock here in the third. And that one just skates by the scoreboard. Can lifts it long, the captain. Safe in the hands of Haas, rolls it out. Hundelt. Dillon out of St. Louis. Schmerman get it down the line. Take two at this one. Neal over the wall and in. Bonds on that line. Working with Cruz. Cruz on the ball, crossing halfway. Stepping over. Here to Bonds. Neal. And setting up the offense, cycling things around. Lewis. Over to T-squared, Tyler Turner. Sandoval, good defense shown by Mississauga. Getting them out of their own end. 2 minutes and 10 seconds here in the third quarter remain. To Neal. Turner, Bowden. House, himself big, rolling it out. They got long, Tyler Turner. Can't get it. The ball bounces in to the fans. It was 6-4 at the half. It is now 10-6. That one just hitting that crossbar. Neal settling it down and launching it to the other end. Cruz. So back Turner, back to Cruz. Neal holds it up under a minute to go here, third quarter. Pearson, leave it to House. Rojas continues the run. Mota. Rojas comes away with it. Leaving it for Gerson. Captain. Puts it through. It's a goal! On a brace for Edwin Rojas. The assist to Gerson. Goal number 11 tonight. Just how you draw it up. Skirts it through. They didn't watch the back post. And Rojas has two with 27.6 ticks left here in this third quarter. Orlando scored 1 goal in their last game against Baltimore. They have broken out for 11 tonight with a quarter to go. 4 in their opener, which they lost in a shootout after scoreless overtime to St. Louis. starting to figure things out here. They will go on the road for 2 at Florida after this one. The 29th of December, and then again on the 12th as time expires here in the third quarter. They outscore Mississauga 5-2 in the third and now lead it 11-6. It is a goal-scoring extravaganza when Mendoza hitting his hat trick on the other way. It's a 5-goal lead for Orlando. Fourth quarter right after this. We are back here in Kissimmee. Big SeaWolves third quarter has them up 11-6 on Mississauga. And the fourth quarter now underway. If you remember, Mississauga outscored Orlando 3-1 in the second quarter. After that 5-0 advantage they ran out to. Looking for their first win in franchise history in the regular season. Gerson. And turned over. Mobabuli. Schmerman giving chase. Hundelt trying to get the angle. Get that one off of the wall, appealing for a handball, nothing forthcoming. Babuli continuing to paddle. Hundelt got in behind him and commits the foul. Well, Rosario looking for that upper corner and just skimmed it over. Well, down 5 goals, the MetroStars have some work to do. And speaking of work and changing over a roster, you see James O'Connor, trust me, he's having a good time supporting his friend Tom Traxler. He's on the big screen, head coach of Orlando City and MLS. Wife Amy there and his fine family, and see Lewis Neal's kids as well. Hello, James. Ginge in a middle of a rebuilding project at the MLS level. It's been a good offseason thus far for the Lions. Took over mid-season. And rebuilding the roster to his specifications as they hope to have a great season in 2019 over at Orlando City Stadium. Another team, Toronto FC, looking to get back into that championship form after an off season. Trying to take that crown back from Atlanta. But here in the MASL, Orlando with an 11-6 lead in their inaugural season. This comes back to Zabalos. Neal will give chase. Bods tripping it over, and he'll commit the foul. Well, the license plate was number 14. Not inclined to agree, the man from Sheffield. And chest to chest. Lewis Neal's like, I had a shot at that if you not called the foul. Top of the arc. That one misses wide. It's always that second ball you got to watch out for, and House will collect. Send the ball along the board. Good job keeping that ball in from Sandoval, running on and sending it out of play. Unfortunately, was Eduardo Cruz. Boards in the corner. Mota. Down by 2 MetroStars. Comes out to Yoshi. House. Now Lewis Neal. To get a touch. Back to Zabalos. Mendoza has been a pest. Gerson. It's Karen, who had a cracker of a goal in the second quarter. House stepped out to it. Orlando in a bit of a change. Mendoza into the box, a shot and a score. And Rodriguez has his second, and that makes it that much tighter, 11-7. Didn't track the runner and did not need much room to get it off. So his second goal of this match and 4th of the season. Rodriguez played for the Florida Tropics, so one of the few guys on this roster that's had experience in this league and knowing how those balls bounce, how to play those boards. That one blistered out of play. Heads up, young man. Okay. See Colby Neal having a good time kicking things around. He's warming up with his dad in pregame. Causing problems. And just the ball wouldn't roll where it needed to there. It was an open goal for Orlando. Rosario. Captain on the ball, leaving it for Can. Everybody across halfway. No problem for House. Climbed the ladder, pulled it down. 10:36 to play, 11-7. shove from Rodriguez. It'll be a free kick. Orlando being outshot in this match 21-19, yet they lead on the scoreboard 11-7. Drum up their first victory of the season. Well, Tyler Turner showing that athleticism. Former U.S. Youth International. Last played with LA Galaxy 2. After playing for Orlando City in MLS in 2015. Sandoval. Damian Graham has been solid. That time he draws the foul. Has the hat trick. Tom Traxler not inclined to agree with the ref's decision there. Sandoval, Yoshi has been good once more. Calming presence. In that trio with Bowden and Lewis Neal. Rojas. So Osvaldo Rojas. Coming up on 9 minutes to go. Just content to keep the ball here. And taking away a foul on Babuli, knocking down Tyler Turner. Felt the pressure coming. Still plenty of time for Mississauga. Certainly have to shore things out. You can't concede anymore. 4 goals to make up in the next 8.5 minutes. Oh, Rojas just got wrong-footed there. Would have had a chance and a crack at it. And Rosario can't keep it. Yoshi to Osvaldo Rojas. Moves it to the far side. Gerson, Rojas. Composure and a score is second. And the SeaWolves rocking and rolling tonight. 12-7. Could have one-timed it, just waited to pull that trigger to get the goalie to commit like it was nothing. Good collect and score. So Rojas, 2 goals tonight with Tuxpan, Mexico. The Rojas boys have accounted for 3 goals tonight. Osvaldo, time at Morelia and Veracruz in Mexico. Now 28 years old, the forward. He's got a couple of goals tonight, 12-7. Mendoza already has 3. Coming at the backside. Schmerman selling out. Seven and a half to go. Rios. Oh, I put that at a tough angle. House there. And a foul. And the MetroStars starting to show a little frustration here, down by 5. A yellow card was issued. So, tough job has just gotten tougher. Somebody will have to serve out the penalty here. And it'll be Paredes. Will go in on the yellow. Stays even strength though, not a. It's technically a power play. Whoa, he's slicing through Mendoza. I guess we'll have to serve out 5 minutes. Can't come back on the field. House. Turner. Schmerman. Drew Goff, some time here late in this game. Will play all over the field, Drew, at the defensive spot tonight. Schmerman. Bowden. Goff. Being able to hold their lines that time, the MetroStars. And turned over. Bowden will give it a go and heads up. Bombs away. Leaned back a bit on that one. That's the end of a shift, though. 6:08 to play. 5-goal lead. It's 12-7. Take a look. We'll take a quick timeout and look back at Osvaldo Rojas with his second. MetroStars trailing by 5 when we come back. Back in Kissimmee, Silver Spurs Arena. Orlando 6 minutes away from their first MASL victory as they lead Mississauga 12-7. That one just missing wide. Get back to Cruz. Now Hundelt. They're trying to see it out. Mota. And eventually and safely in the hands of the keeper Zabalos. Gerson closing it down quicker than anybody in the league. He's a forward, but he defends. Chases anything down. The chest. Ron Young, Kingston, Jamaica, physical specimen. Not somebody you'd want to defend. Here's Rodriguez, already has a couple goals. How about a third? No, that time lifts it over and out of play. So the SeaWolves will get their change. Sandoval trots back on. as does Edwin Rojas, Tyler Turner, Osvaldo Rojas, and Lewis Neal. 4:47 to go. Still 2 minutes and 27 seconds for Paredes to serve out in that 5-minute major. Rojas continuing to battle. Kept it alive as Babuli was there. Oh, fortuitous bounce. De Rosario, no. Put it left. Quite have the angle. And nobody there to follow it up. Thought that might have been the one. Does not need much to get a shot off. De Rosario, how about that one? Tipped over the bar by House, who grabs his leg on that full stretch to tip that over the bar. Boy, some time in the ice baths have been earned by both of these teams tonight. Oh yeah, it was in. That was going to be in if he didn't make that save. Cramping up a bit. .416 to go. De Rosario. And cleared. Unfortunately out of play, and we'll redo it. Three-man wall. Turner face Babuli. De Rosario took a deflection on its way through. Helter Skelter, Lewis Neal just to get a foot to it. Now Turner will turn on the Jets. Zabalos, the keeper, comes way out of his box to make sure to win. Under 4 to go. Babuli in front. De Rosario. Can will collect. Babuli. Right foot off the inside of the crossbar and out. And it will come the other way. Three and a half. Sandoval. Cross. Bowden has a brace tonight. Schmerman. 12-7 advantage. So rolls it over. How about Neal into the corner? Bowden with 3:15 to play. Gerson to his left foot. He'll shoot, miss it. It was just a good pass to Lewis Neal. That's what he'll say. Gerson. Back to Schmerman. Babuli putting on pressure. And caught on the wall. Committing the foul was Babuli. The referees will talk it over. The Schmermanator. Time given away. There's a man with 2 goals already. Graham hit the deck. And Gerson got the worst of it. It'll be SeaWolves ball. 2:39 to play. 19 seconds left in the penalty to Paredes. The box will finally be able to come out of purgatory. House, Neal in front of Graham. And Rosario off the wall. Goff was wise to it. And Rosario and Neal faced each other in MLS during Neal's time at DC United, I'm sure. Goff And from New Hampshire, played in Sweden. So his first time of the season tonight, given away. Time by House. Under 2 minutes to go. De Rosario trying to turn and spin and get some space and misses it wide of the target. Seemed like he had it earlier in the possession, couldn't keep it. We'll have another crack at it here. Bowden. De Rosario, no. Schmerman into the rafters. One of the headlines coming out of this one is with 1:35 to go, the SeaWolves have kept De Rosario and Babuli in check, their two best scorers. Saved by House. And the biggest weapon tonight has been Rodriguez. He and Graham sitting on a hat trick. 1:20 to go. Rodriguez is marked by Tyler Turner. Getting loud inside, took a deflection right at House. He'll release it long. And that will waste more of the clock. And when it come into life, they can feel the victory a minute away. Neal comes away, a foul committed. 53.8 seconds left, quick restart. Rodriguez want to keep it at 12-7 here and go out in style. So all six in the attack, 6 on 5. The keeper is forward, is the sixth attacker. And this will be sent to the other end. Out of play from Tyler Turner, had the open goal. 34.3 seconds left. Everybody on their feet here at Silver Spurs Arena. MetroStars will fall to 1 and 3. SeaWolves to 1 and 2. Oh, they walked back. Oh, Zabalos. Mota putting on the pressure. 25 seconds left. Down to 20. Karen. On the right side, Rios. 11 seconds to go. Battle along the boards. Count it down. 5. House has it in his hands. It is over. The SeaWolves have the first win in franchise history as they take out the Mississauga MetroStars 12-7, the final. So the first win in front of the home fans. Take a bow. Tom Traxler has his first victory as head coach. And everybody's going to go home happy here on a Saturday night in Kissimmee. 19 goals have been scored. We're going to do the fastest 90 seconds you will ever see to see them all. It started with the SeaWolves scoring 5 in the first. Mendoza got the first one. Then Mota the second. Then in the first, Rojas collected and deposited. Gordy Gerson in the open field, made no mistake. And to close out the first quarter, it was Edwin Rojas from Tyler Turner. Then Mississauga came back with 3 straight, spanning the first and second. Karen, followed by Graham there. Here's Karen's shot from distance, had a lot of mustard on that. Then Damian Graham with his brace on the feed from Rodriguez. And it was 5-3. And Luke Bowden from Lewis Neal in the second. Paredes answered for Mississauga. Jonathan Mendoza got his second, sitting on the back post. Then Rodriguez. It went back and forth for a while. Gerson would collect the penalty here for his brace. It was 8-5 SeaWolves. Then Luke Bowden will get a second, more conventionally, making it 9-5. Coming back, Damian Graham, his hat trick, 9-6. Mendoza, hat trick for himself, 10-6 SeaWolves. Then 11-6 Rojas as we went into the fourth. Marco Rodriguez for Mississauga, 11-7. And the piece de resistance, Osvaldo Rojas, cool, calm, collected. His brace made it 12-7, and that's all she wrote in the SeaWolves' first victory. As Tom Traxler giving a hug to Renee. Congratulations. It will be 2 games on the road next for the SeaWolves. Tom Traxler will take them down the road to take on the Florida Tropics in Lakeland. But a good night. SeaWolves, a 5-goal win over Mississauga, their first in franchise history. Congratulations. They go to 1-2. Mississauga drops to 1-3. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. Thanks to our entire crew, our producer Tom Piero and our entire Gemstone crew. So long from Orlando.